What is that smell? I am definitely getting a hint of a deal. Oh wait, it's more than a hint. Yeah, these are the best deals, and not just this season, but all year long. In all seriousness, the smartest shoppers know that you get the brands you love with the most savings and cash back with Rakuten. And I know I'm certainly interested in sniffing out those deals. Start getting cash back at your favorite stores like Urban Outfitters, Petco, even Expedia, and getting cash back doesn't mean you have to miss out on sales because those can be stacked right on top. It's easy to use and based on a simple idea. Stores pay Rakuten for sending them shoppers, and Rakuten shares the money with you as cashback through PayPal or check. Smells like a perfect deal to me. Download the free Rakuten app and never miss a deal. Or go to Rakuten.com to start getting the most bang for your buck. That's Rakuten.
At T-Mobile, our critical mission is providing unparalleled 5G coverage for when connectivity is mission critical. Introducing T-Priority, America's best 5G network experience for first responders, even in times of congestion. More capacity, faster speeds, better coverage. T-Priority from T-Mobile, built for tomorrow's emergencies, ready today. Discover more at t-priority.com.
For qualifying organizations on eligible rate plans, coverage not available in some areas and may be impacted by emergencies.
Can you feel it in the air? That sudden shift of mood? It's the perfect time to shed the winter blues and experience the revitalizing qualities of driving a Lincoln. It starts with the Lincoln Spring Sales Event. So step outside and visit your local Lincoln retailer or Lincoln.com for some seriously mood-enhancing offers on current and past Lincoln models. Your transformation awaits. Learn more at Lincoln.com.
Are you preparing for the new Medea movie that's coming out? Hello.
Maybe unintentionally.
There's a new one coming.
How many is this in total?
No clue.
Over under 50.
The cinematic universe. This is literally, because it's not just movies. There's plays. There's TV shows.
Like live plays?
Yeah, that's how it started. That's how Tyler Perry got his start.
I thought you meant currently, right now. Tyler Perry's like,
no,
going to theaters.
Nah.
At the Kennedy Center, a night with me.
Not anymore. Everybody's canceling everything at the Kennedy Center.
As they should. Well, I do have mixed feelings on that one.
I do too.
It's difficult to say because nobody wants that really. So, but we're still in our politics. That's a different kind of podcast.
Mm-hmm. Not us.
No, and not because we're not political, because we're both deeply political. And there's no way you don't know our political leanings, and we need a nice brain break from it. Well, welcome to a brand new episode of But Am I Wrong? Starring two people who have not once ever been wrong in their whole entire lives.
Shocking.
It's incredibly shocking.
The shocker.
Is it true? Depends on who you ask.
What is truth?
Great point, Melissa. Very good point. Because prior to us even recording, did I tell Melissa, I can't believe I was wrong about this. I didn't think this thing was going to happen. And it did.
You're not a medical professional, though.
No, I'm not.
So how would you know?
And at the same time, the amount of times I have Googled this would indicate that maybe I did think this was what was going on. I just didn't want to accept it because I didn't want to fall into the wellness culture on TikTok.
But there's a difference between wellness and medical, and this is actually medical and not people guessing, which is what you would have been doing if you had just guessed because you're not a professional.
Yeah. So this is the reminder to everybody. Sometimes social media can actually be helpful of what's wrong with you, because when I posted a couple months ago saying all my thyroid tests came back negative, like totally fine, but I still feel like shit. What should I get tested for? I had so many people send like dozens and dozens and dozens of things. And I made a whole list. And then I sent that to my doctor. And how many of you said cortisol? Thank you so much. Because girls apparently got to figure that out. And now I should take my beta. But this is a podcast where we have multiple different segments. And we will explain each one of them before we get into it. But what you really need to know is that we value your participation. So we post over on our Instagram stories and the highlights all of the things that we talked about in each episode. And then you can vote for who you think was wrong for each one. And then on our Tuesday episode called See You Next Tuesday, we read the results from the previous week. And we also read your messages about like your thoughts and feelings on each thing, why you voted that way, or how you feel about it. Sometimes we even have the original people who talk to us about it. They will be like, here's me answering a question, or here's an update, or this is how I felt listening to it. And sometimes for the things involving people that we don't know, sometimes we give updates for that too.
Sure do.
If you want to watch a video version, where can they go?
They should go to Patreon. And there's going to be stuff that you're going to want to see from my But Are They Wrong that require, it's going to be a little guessing game.
You know how much I love a guessing game. I'm addicted. Anytime I'm like, oh, let me guess. And he's like, can I just tell you? It's 20 minutes of you guessing. I go, and love that. So, shall we begin?
Yes, I'm up first.
That's what I thought.
So this is But Am I Wrong? And this is when we pick things from our own lives and bring it to the class for discussion. This week, mine is the spa should only be a place of relaxation. And that's it.
I do feel like you had something similar around your last birthday.
We're going to go into that. So I went to the spa I usually go to. Actually here in LA. Last year I was in Arkansas and had an unusual spa experience. And this time it's no different. Different experiences, but I don't understand why I can't relax on my birthday.
No, this is actually getting eerie. Like,
it is getting
what do you mean?
Fucking weird. I don't understand.
Yeah, maybe they want you to have higher cortisol levels.
No, please don't. It's already high enough.
Yep.
So I went to the spa I usually go to. It is a Korean day spa. You are naked most of the time. You get robes. There's signs posted everywhere that say, shh, respect people that are trying to relax. It's literally what it says.
They should have you narrate those signs, because if I walked by one and it went, shh, I would go, it would be really remind me to shut the fuck up and relax. Right.
So group number 1.
Oh, we've got multiple groups.
Oh,
damn. Shooters on both sides.
Group number 1, and this is my hot take within the hot take, is that parties shouldn't be allowed at a Korean spa. A group of about 8 26-year-olds came in to celebrate someone else's birthday.
Oh, they were so loud you literally knew they were turning 26.
Yes, I knew how old they were because they said, you're 26 now. I knew. There was a bunch of them. They were talking so loudly throughout the whole spa. I could hear them. I wasn't even in the same area as them when they were talking about being 26. They were in like the changing area. I was in the shower area. And they were bickering about, do we have to get naked? It is a Korean spa. Did you not do any research before you got here? And then as they were getting closer to the showers, they were like, I took a shower at home. Do I have to take a shower here? And this is where I spoke up. I said, hey, girls.
Hey, girly.
I literally changed my voice. Hey, girls. So, like when you're in your car and driving, there's like, you may not realize it, but like there's sweat happening. There's also, if you put lotion on your body before you got here, like there's oils on your body, and everything here, like everybody's touching it, and they just want to make sure that it's the cleanest that it possibly can be. So, they highly recommend you taking a shower. And they all go, oh, okay. Like they listened to me. At least they listened. They didn't get angry. But then they were in the shower area splashing water everywhere. There's an area where you keep your robes and stuff, and they were splashing water over there. And I had to tell them, like, I felt like their mother. I was like, hey, like, you're getting the robes wet. Make sure you're keeping the water close to you. One girl had just like turned on one of the showers next to her that nobody was in. And this other woman that was there, like, just walked by and turned it off because she was like fed up with them. Like, they were so loud and it was so much. Luckily, this was like towards the end. So I was getting my like end of sweating and everything end of shower. So they were still being annoying to other people, but I was like leaving and stuff. I actually would have stayed longer if they hadn't been so loud, though.
Were you leaving the spa or were you leaving the showers?
I was leaving the shower. So I was showering before I went to like put my clothes back on.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you sweat a lot and stuff. So I just wanted to be clean. And I was like, okay, I'll just leave now. Because I was just going to go sit in the sauna for a little bit because the sauna and the shower in the same area. I was going to sit in the sauna for a little bit. And I was like, because I didn't get my full sauna experience because number 2, couples should not be allowed in a day spa together.
I don't like where this is going.
So
you mean romantic couples?
Romantic couples.
I don't like where this is going.
And maybe even friends. If you don't know how to keep your mouth fucking shut on many levels, you should not be in the spa together.
Take back what you just said.
I'm not.
Don't tell me that's where this is going.
So I was in this, when I first got there, I was in the sauna. So I have to, you know, work up to the most egregious things.
Facts. To me, the sauna is like really hard to do. Like, I can't do a sauna.
It's really good for my lungs.
Oh,
so it's great for me.
Really bad for my heart.
Yes, I understand. So I was in the sauna and there was some yappers in there too. And they were very much in love, yappers.
Okay. Good
for some reason, they were sitting in their robes when you're supposed to be naked in there and just sitting on a towel. And then I, out the corner of my eye, see a robe coming down and a hand caressing a titty. Not their own titty, but their partner's titty. And the squeezing and the caressing and the moaning was getting out of hand. And I said, it's time for me to leave this area too.
How many people were in the sauna?
It was those 2 and me.
I'm trying to picture a sauna in which it's a cave and there's another little cave that you're hiding. They know you're there.
They know I'm there. They saw me walk in. They were in there before. It's just U-shaped. It's no bigger than the couch that's behind me.
Perverts.
Yes.
So they're fucking perverts.
Yes.
No perverts at the spa.
There's no, like they knew I was. There's no way you couldn't know.
In when they were in there. Yeah.
Yes. There's no, like, I couldn't have been more than 3 feet from them.
That I think should be a crime.
And then I left and then went to the oxygen area where you just like lay down and get oxygen because like I was waiting for my actual massage for them to come get me. So I was just laying there and then I saw this other couple walk by and they were grabbing ass.
A different couple.
Do you think
you booked on a day?
I don't know what was going on. I've come there on, I mean, they were obviously coming, but I come there on I've never experienced this before. Never in my life. Ass being grabbed. And then later while I was because they have a cafe there. And as I was enjoying my soup, I look over and another couple. And I want to say all these couples were all like different ages, races. I was like...
Non-discriminatory. Everybody's horny. Horniness, universal.
Yeah. And this is also an all women's spa too. So like...
Yeah.
No men are in there too.
I expect more women.
Yes, I expect more.
Factually expect
I was like,
more
this
women.
is not like a bathhouse.
Yeah.
So then I'm eating my soup my egg drop soup.
I was going to ask what kind. I love an egg drop soup.
And I see this other couple where they were sitting across from each other. And there's only 2 tables in this place. I'm at one table, they're at another table. It's inside the spa. Again, no bigger than this. The area, no bigger than this room. They're sitting across from each other, but then get up to move on the same side of the table. And I guess they think because there's a table there, you can't see underneath the table. But I could see underneath the table. And there's definitely some finger banging happening. Definitely some finger banging. And this was on February 16th. And I don't know if this was like side chick day where everybody was bringing their side bitch to the spa. I don't understand.
Why did this happen
their main
to you?
bitch? Because like, why wouldn't it be if it was your main bitch? You should have done this on February 14th.
And in the comfort of your own fucking home.
In the comfort of your home. That's why I think it's side chick, because they were in the spa.
Probably using a gift card from their in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
Why did this happen to you?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew.
So this is your whole day.
This is my whole day.
Your whole spa experience.
My whole spa
started
experience.
with a shower full of woo girls.
Those were actually, that's how it ended.
Oh, that's the end.
Yeah.
But starts with titty grabbing.
Uh-huh.
The mid-afternoon, you've got some classic finger banging.
Mm-hmm.
And then it ends with
the woo girls.
The sweaty woo girl. The smelly woo girls.
Yes.
And you still had to pay for this.
I still had to pay. And even with my soup, like I had, because there's a long line for like getting food and stuff, because it's just this one old lady that's back there cooking the food up. And so I had to put my name on the list earlier in the day for my food to be ready. So this is like 6 p.m. finger banging. And I couldn't leave because they've already charged my account for the food.
Were they eating soup?
They were eating ramen. Mm-hmm.
All that slurping got them going.
Mm-hmm. And then they started sharing food out of one bowl. But like they both had the same thing.
This is crazy.
I know.
By the way, if anyone's never been to a Korean spa, if the women who run this spa, if they knew what was going on, the way that not only would they be kicked out forever, they'd first have to sit down for a 30-minute lecture. They'd get yelled at. And I'm disappointed in you.
And so the person that's like walking around, like picking up towels and stuff, like she really doesn't have any, like she's just picking up towels. She's not really like an authority. The lady that I know, if the lady that was cooking knew what was going on, then she would have been on their asses. And then the other people, there's like 2 people up at the very front, and then just the people that come and bring you back to take you back to the room. So they didn't know what was happening. Unless they did, and they just didn't care.
No,
but like I go to this, I go to this place all the time, and I've never experienced anything like this.
Yeah. Every Korean spa I've ever been to is like run like a fucking tight goddamn ship.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they have so many repeat customers like you.
Yep. Yeah.
Melissa, this is
I feel like I'm
quite
cursed.
Traumatizing.
Yeah.
You felt like a what?
I feel like my birthday is cursed.
Do you think it's just the proximity to Valentine's Day?
No, because I can't speak. That wouldn't have anything to do with the last one that happened.
Oh, true.
That was all like one-on-one stuff.
That was a gay man in Arkansas.
A gay man in Arkansas that was being weird.
Yeah, to say the least. This or maybe you do one break of a spa, or you do a after your birthday spa treatment, like a week after.
Then it doesn't feel like my birthday. The plan this year was to go away, but then like the stuff happened, and like because of the fires, and some of my shows got canceled for the month of January. A lot of shows got canceled, so I was like, I need to save some money up because I don't know what'll happen. So
also, pretty much every place you can stay in California, prices have increased because so many people lost their homes that a lot of people aren't even like they're staying away. This is quite literally maybe one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, I couldn't believe my eyes.
I can't believe it. Did you kind of wish you were there with like a friend or something so you could laugh at like, because like,
no, because I don't want people talking.
oh, you're like, I just want to be silent. Because for me, this is one of those things where it's like, I'm like trying to make eye contact with other people, being like, is anyone else fucking seeing this?
The woman that like was pissed about like them leaving the water on, like she and I gave a look, but like everything else, I was the only one there.
Oh my God. They wanted you to be a third.
Yeah.
I think that was an invitation.
Maybe from these 3 different couples.
Maybe we need to work on manifesting because maybe they were the aliens who you've been trying to bang.
They got to come down in a different form.
Yeah, not.
Unfortunately, not gay.
No, you. Oh yeah, we should be specific. You're looking for a male alien.
Mm-hmm.
A malian. This is fucking insane. Are you gonna go back?
Of course I'm gonna go back. That's
one.
my place. Like they know me there. They gave me like, they don't have like a digital system. They have it written in a physical book that is my birthday. And they give me like stuff. Like that's I'm a
really
regular
sweet.
there.
So would you recognize these women if you saw them again?
Yes. I'd recognize all 6 of the couple people and at least half of the woo girls.
I think the woo girls could improve.
Yeah, I think they
26 is a little fucking late, but I do think that with a gentle shove,
one at a time, they'd probably be fine. Because they were adaptable. When I told them things, they adapted
said,
to it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That is like I love a woo girl when it's like the right woo, like the right time,
mm-hmm.
the right time and place to woo.
Mm-hmm.
It's because there's no one who's more supportive of you than a woo girl.
Right.
Always gonna woo. Oh my God.
The best.
That's what you want. When you need a tampon, you need a woo girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is everything you want. And especially a woo girl who is accepting feedback on their actions. Wonderful. Fantastic. Are you going to tell the people at the spa and just be like, heads up?
I thought about it, but I'm not really a snitch in that way.
If you see them again.
If I see them again, then yes.
That makes sense. I think that's probably what I would have done too. Because like I would have been in such shock that I'd be like, there's no way this is actually happening right now. And then after that, once we get to the second couple, I'd be like, did I accidentally book during the cunnilingus day? Like, what is going on?
It was a time.
Their poor significant others back at home having no idea they're getting finger blasted in the fucking restaurant of the sauna. I mean, of the spa.
Yeah. Who knows what happened when I left the sauna though? Because the titties had came out and caressing. So maybe when I left, they probably got down to business.
Is it weird that I kind of think that one's crazier?
No, because that one, like the table itself, you'd be like, no one can see me. But in the sauna, they knew I could see them.
That's the part that I'm like, why would you do that to me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what indicator have I given you that I'm
not even
okay?
looking? I'm looking straight ahead. Maybe because I was naked and they had on their robes and they were like, oh, she's down to clown. But no, you're not supposed to wear your robe in the sauna.
Also, the nudity's not sexual here. Yes. Is this the first time you've ever been? That's like disrobing at a doctor being like, it's about to go down. And it's like, no, you're getting a pap smear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's nothing sexy about this. You're handling this better than I would.
I've had 4 days now to process this.
This is crazy. I can't wait to tell Mom. This is one of those stories he's not going to believe.
I accidentally sent in a text message to Mecca and Jamila mid-conversation about this. Saying, I'm all for people loving people, but why must you get fingered in a spa? And they said, and Jamila was like, wait, what?
That's crazy. That what a text message to come on mid-conversation.
Yes.
Because I'd be like, yeah, I'm all for people loving people. So sorry, I actually don't know what we're referencing. Mm-hmm. Did I miss something? What happened before this? And you'd be like, so sorry. Did you explain?
I had to explain at that point. And they were
so
like,
funny.
Is this because they have a segment on their podcast called Spin It? And they were like, is this going to be at Spin It? I was like, we can use it, but I was going to use it as my hot take on my podcast.
That is so funny. Wow. I would love to know if anybody else has ever had experience like this. Because this shouldn't be happening to you, especially on your birthday.
I know.
They said, you want some birthday suits on your birthday? By the way, speaking of sexual birthdays, I tried to, when I was adding a song for your belated Instagram post for your birthday, I went to add Birthday Cake by Rihanna.
Her songs aren't on there because I wanted to add Diamonds in the Sky for my own post.
That was the next one I tried.
Yeah, her songs aren't on there. There was a sound alike that was there. So
okay, I didn't know if it was just me.
No.
Why is she doing this to me?
I don't know. It'd be Rock Nation, so blame Jay-Z, I guess.
That's easy. That's fine. I can do that. I have no problem doing that. But I'm just like, Rihanna, don't you know I am such a diehard fan. I'm still waiting for the album and we're not going to even have your songs on Instagram? How can I show the world? Also, that is the best birthday song I think ever made in like modern day.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like, thank you. Selena Gomez also has a good birthday song. Tell her it's my birthday. Tell her it's my birthday. But
I also like, what I need for my birthday is a big booty hoe.
You'll be surprised. I've actually, unfortunately, never related to that song. I've actually never been a big booty hoe. I didn't feel seen. And that's fine. I think
it's a state of mind.
Booty hoe.
It can be a state of mind.
Yeah. I'm a little long booty hoe. No.
Because that sounded like long booty hole.
Ooh,
I know you said
that sounds like fissures. Anal fissures.
But let's take a break. And when we get back, we can get to yours.
We are so excited to have a brand new sponsor, and I'm feeling very cool because Jesse and Lily are sponsored by OneSkin, and now we are.
Yay!
We are finally here. Skincare, we love skincare. We're all about it. And let's talk about peptides for a minute. If you're like me, you're seeing them everywhere. Peptide this, peptide that, peptide. It's almost a tongue twister. Just because something says peptide on it doesn't actually mean that it's really doing anything for you, but that is where OneSkin's OS1 peptide is different. Some peptides just sit on top of the skin, and OS1 goes deeper. It's scientifically formulated to penetrate the cells within skin's deeper layers, which improves key skin health markers like collagen production, hydration, and my personal uphill battle constantly, skin barrier function.
I think that's both of our uphill battles.
Truly.
I was so excited to get this as well because I just ran out of my other moisturizer, so it was perfect timing. Not only is OS1 proven to remain stable from the lab to the countertop, so you get reliable results every time. And guys, listen, if you're not getting results from your peptides, it might be time to take a closer look. All of OneSkin's topical supplements are backed by lab and clinical studies. And they're all powered by OS1 peptide, the first and only peptide that is scientifically proven to target senescent cells that contribute to lines, wrinkles, and thinning skin. Try OneSkin with an exclusive 15% off your first purchase using Blame Me at oneskin.co.
I love these products. I've been trying out the Essential Moisturizer and the Essential Eye Cream. And for me, eye cream is one of those things that like, I love a little luxury eye cream. I love to like feel that, but specifically the older that I get, and also sometimes if my sleep is not that great, I really notice the lines under the eyes, and I always want my makeup to apply better. And what I love about this is it looks so nice if I put it on, no makeup on, but I also can apply makeup on it. It's not just for like that really rich overnight kind of a thing. It's really a daily thing that you can use, and it just looks and feels really good. And the moisturizer.
Oh, can I talk about that? Because sometimes my skin is very dry and scaly. Sometimes my skin is very oily. Sometimes my skin, I'm like, what even is this? But this face moisturizer is perfect. It goes on very smooth. It's not too thick, but you can feel the moisture in it. And then afterwards, after it's like really soaked in, you can just feel just how supple your skin is.
That's the perfect word, supple. And just like us, OneSkin loves science. So glad to hear. We love science in this house.
We do love science.
And OneSkin's entire R&D process is run in-house, strictly adhering to the rigor of scientific process from start to finish. Every claim is based on lab or clinical studies, and it's documented.
Founded and led by an all-woman team of skin and longevity scientists, OneSkin is redefining the aging process with their proprietary OS1 peptide, the first ingredient proven to help skin look, feel, and behave like its younger self.
Get 15% off with code BLAMEME at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code BLAMEME. After your purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Invest in the health and longevity of your skin with OneSkin. Your future self will thank you.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that ShopPay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Canva presents a work love story like no other. Meet Productivity. She's all business.
The Canva doc is done.
Creativity is more of a free thinker.
Whiteboard brainstorm.
They're worlds apart, but sometimes opposites attract. Thanks to Canva.
The data is in the deck.
And now it's an animated graph.
Canva, where productivity meets creativity. Now showing on computer screens everywhere. Love your work at canva.com.
We're back, and it is time to get into mine. And mine is a statement that I frequent in my own life, but I do think it needs to be said. I think it needs to be the through line, yes, of 2025, but for years on and on and on. And that is, Mama, let's research. This, I feel, has never been more prevalent. Gina Rodriguez had no idea when she tweeted that was going to be such a cultural moment, such a cultural phenomenon. By the way, you know, I also recently learned that she is on she's one of the chairmen of the foundation that gives those scholarships.
Oh. So
she could have actually just given the scholarship.
And that's probably why that person was tweeting her.
Uh-huh. And it's crazy. Or a lot of other people said that they received the scholarship, but all they received was like a certificate in the mail and no money. Like that they didn't give financial scholarships to everyone. Sometimes they just awarded them with like the title, and then they could put that on applications for whatever to like make it, you know, they look renowned. But they weren't getting any money from it. And I'm like, this is wild. But anyways, this was like two specific things popped up that made me think of this. And was it my last? No, it wasn't. But it was like a couple weeks ago or a month ago or something. I talked about Candace Owens. And that to me is like another prime example of like, let's check the source. Let's do any amount of like an ounce of legwork. Like, I know you bitches, not necessarily those of you listening to us, but like the way that we have all so deeply stalked like an ex-boyfriend's new girl, or like find any information that we want. We could all be in the and you mean to tell me you're not going to do one little click, 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 tippy tap tap, and then you're also going to judge boomers and older people by saying they have zero media literacy. Mama, you got no media literacy at this fucking point either. And the first things that came up were one, this thing called EB Magazine, which is they're like trying to be like a new like Allure, Cosmo, Harper's Bazaar, Marie Claire, like that specific kind of like lifestyle magazine, Teen Vogue style. And the first time I ever heard about them was when they had the lady from Ballerina Farm on the cover. And I was like, cool.
What is that?
How do I explain it? She's got like a bajillion kids, and her husband, she said for her birthday was she wanted a trip to Greece, and he got her an apron, which she actually just bought herself. He just handed her the box. And they're like alt-right pipeline. Like they're showing their sourdough bread, and like they're definitely drinking raw milk. They probably even talk about it. But like I don't watch her, but like a lot of people who were like, wow, homesteading is so nice. And like the homeschool is so nice. I'm like, what do you think that the goal of this is? Like, come on. So she was on the cover of this magazine. And she's also the one who they did I think it was the Times, did a profile on her and her family, and they visited her and they were like, oh, her husband doesn't let her speak. Like, this is very odd. So she was on, as a response to that, essentially, she was on this cover of this magazine, and it was like, she loves homesteading. Like, we love traditional, like, gender roles, whatever, all that stuff. And I wrote them off as being like, cool, conservative magazine, whatever. But I guess they have been like doing like TikTok slideshows of like, oh, remember a time in Hollywood before veneers? Like things that are just pop culture based. So people are engaging with it. Like the stuff is blowing up, and it's like, oh my God, I love that. I love that. And then they've had like TikTokers on like the cover to do cover stories and all of this kind of stuff. And I will say, I think a lot of people need to understand that there's a lot of fucking influencers who are Mormon. And if an influencer is an ex-Mormon, they will tell you. Nobody's going to let you think they are Mormon if they are not Mormon. So that's like a big, like, that's not even a pipeline. That's just like a sidestep. That's like that. So I think a lot of people don't realize that when they see like their favorite TikTokers who are then on the cover of this or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that this person had a planned baby at 22 years old, and they're from Utah. Let's do some thought process. Let's think this through about how we got here. So seeing that like people have been sharing that and reposting that, to me, I'm like, this is so fucking easy that we can see where this comes from. You can even just like look at the magazine and the articles and like see that, not just their social media presence. And it reminds
the magazine is
it's a
Utah-based publishing.
I don't think it even is it?
I'm asking.
Oh, I don't think it is. But let's see. It's a politically conservative American magazine. Website published, pseudoscience, anti-vaccine. It's empower, educate, and entertain young women with content that celebrates femininity, encourages virtue, and offers a more honest perspective than they get elsewhere. And then they also launched a femtech app called 28 by Evie, which collects menstruation data and uses it to provide non-scientific exercise and diet advice. A conservative app that's asking for your period tracking. And that was funded by a billionaire who
is somebody that
is a conservative libertarian
that wants everybody to have 2 million kids.
They also released a raw milkmaid dress, and they love trad wives. They're anti-feminism, lots of misinformation about COVID, QAnon conspiracies, all that. So it is like legitimately like just a conservative but you would know that if you had engaged, like had taken a second to like research any of this. And then the second one that really struck a chord with me was the fact that Drew Afwalo has been getting quote unquote canceled this week because someone decided to post a clip ripping a clip from her podcast that was exclusively on Spotify from 3 years ago, where she is asked a question. She's like talking about when her friends who are single ask her about like dating advice and like getting into a relationship when she's been with her. At the time, she even says, my boyfriend. Now it's her fiance. And like what her advice to that is. And she talks about, you know, the importance of, and it's a consistent fucking through line with all of Drew's content of being like, you know, make sure you love yourself, because if you are not in like a good place, which is same like fucking advice that we give, that so many people give. If you are not in a good place, you will not pick people who are adding to your life. You will not be in great relationships. We've talked about like doing a dating detox of like being like, I need to fix my picker. My picker is off. And so she says that, and it has then boiled down into how insensitive is it for Drew, who has been, and this is like what they say, has been with her high school sweetheart since they were like teenagers for her to get on here and upload a clip on Valentine's Day telling people that the reason why they're single is because they don't love themselves enough. I'm like, that legitimately did not happen. If you look at the clip, she doesn't have an engagement ring on. Like, there are so many things that give you the context that this, or even just the set. She didn't open her phone. She's not in her car recording, talking to the camera. This is a podcast clip. The podcast episode didn't even come out on this day. And it is just, and her now fiance, they didn't date in high school. They knew each other in high school. Like, whatever. And people were like, they took such a small version of the clip when the big one is like her being like, I'm incredibly lucky that I am with someone. And so all of that kind of stuff. And everyone's like, we don't want women in relationships giving dating advice. And I'm like, do you want single people giving you dating advice? It's also no. So what I've come to the conclusion is you want men giving you dating advice. And why?
This is weird.
It's
the way that
so
people
weird.
took that and ran with it.
It's just like,
and then also who ripped it?
That's what I wonder, because you have to, like, you can't screen record with audio. Like, that's a lot of fucking effort to do that. So, like, it just feels so silly to me. And then, I think that, and I think I've even said before, you, like, don't have to love yourself to love anybody, like, to love someone else. Like, I don't think it's like a prerequisite, but I think
you have to be in a good place with yourself, because then it can make the relationship toxic.
Exactly that. It's like, it doesn't prevent you from being in a relationship, but like it does hold you back in terms of your happiness or your, like, anything. Like, it's not going to be, it's not as good as it can be. Yeah. So, like, I think that there are ways to, like, if they wanted to, like, misinterpret what she said, like, there are ways to have, like, nuance to that misinterpretation. But, like, for people to be standing, like, fully in, like, I'm not going to love myself. And I'm just like, what an odd stance to take in that. Like, okay, like, it's, and I understand how tough it is, but, like, I also can't understand how tough it is being single. Like, I also would say I'm very lucky in having been with someone for a very long time. But I think that it was so crazy to see some of, like, the rhetorics, like, slip into, people they're getting married later, they're having babies later. And, like, it used to be a lot easier. And I'm like, it didn't used to be easier. We used to not be able to get divorced. Like,
and forced into marriage.
Yeah. Like, we used to not be able, like, we would reach our ceiling cap in our jobs very quickly. We used to, all of those other things. And I'm like, let's not romanticize a time before, like, thinking that dating was better or easier then. Because then suddenly now I'm like, maybe you're following the Evie account on TikTok. Maybe you're accidentally consuming some of that and missing the good old days of Quaaludes, speed for housewives, and, polio and measles. Oh, let's not talk about measles.
I mean, a couple of those things are making a comeback. So
yeah, you happy now, bitches?
Are y'all happy? All right. Let's get into But Are You Wrong? So, But Are You Wrong is where you guys write in and share the predicaments that are going on in your life. You can send us an email to butamiwrongpod@gmail.com, or you can fill out the form that we have, or you can send us a DM. You've got so many options. We also take updates. So if you got something that you're like, hey, I was wrong, or hey, I was right, and these people suck, and this is what happened after, let us know. We're here for your validation. All right. Hi, Meghan and Melissa. I am probably wrong, but I need to know if this will actually get me into a bad situation one day. I love to absolutely blast my music in my car on my commute to and from work. This drive is only 15-ish minutes, and most of that time is me stuck in various lights surrounded by other cars. The problematic part is I enjoy blasting my music with all the windows down. My range includes Sabrina Carpenter, Paramore, Noah Kahan, Chinchilla.
Hey, You guys, Melissa knows who Noah Khan is now.
I've seen him play basketball. That's how I saw him for the first time. Here we are. I'm unfamiliar with chinchilla, though.
Me too.
The hope is to see if others will jam out with me. This is my favorite way to de-stress from a work day, and if it annoys a fellow commuter, that brings me joy. What the fuck?
Wait, so are you trying to bond or are you trying to start something?
I think it's both. Am I wrong to force others to listen to my very loud music in standstill traffic with the windows down? Sounds like you're purposely trying to be a nuisance. And for that, I say that you're wrong.
I need to know what kind of car you drive.
What does that matter?
Because I think if you have a convertible, that's a vibe. I love that. If you're in a Chevy Tahoe, it's a little odd. Like, that's a little odd to have your windows all down doing that. If you're in a Kia Soul, kind of a vibe, kind of giving the hamster commercial. If you are in a Cybertruck, fucking weird.
Stop listening to this podcast is what I have to say.
You better be putting that on a fucking flatbed tow truck like Sheryl Crow and getting that shit fucking out of here. So, like, for me, it really depends on that vibe. So, like, if you have a cute car and your car is a vibe, okay, sure. But are other people listening to music? Because I don't know, this isn't weird to do in LA.
No, it's not weird to have your music blasting. But my problem is the fact that you're like, I get off on people that get annoyed with me.
But then you also seemingly want people to enjoy it. So
right.
I feel like you're like hedging your bets either way.
And I don't know if you might be in a city that like you're not supposed to do that. Some cities, when you come to a stop sign, your music can't be like at a certain decibel. So like you could get in trouble.
Yeah, you could move to LA or New York and like you'd be amongst friends. Like I have to assume that nobody else is doing this and it's just you.
Yeah.
So I think you'd actually hate moving to LA. I mean, New York, it's traffic noises too. But like LA, like most people are doing this.
I liked when I was a kid, and it wouldn't even be loud music, but this was the day of radios and tape players. And I liked when I was a kid where I would come up to a stoplight when my parents were driving and look over and see that the person, like their mouths match what I'm listening to. So I love that. But like I've never actually tried to be a nuisance on purpose. Like that's weird to me. And for that, I think you're wrong.
Well, I want to know why they're mad because I do this all the time and no one is ever like we're vibing. Like one time I was driving to your place and as soon as I get off the freeway, if anyone drives on the fucking freeway with their windows rolled down, that's crazy. You have a death wish. Anytime I see someone doing that, I'm like,
some people, their air conditioner might be up and they need some air if it's hot.
Yeah. I just can't imagine how much worse, like when it's like the sounds, if it's either loud, like if it's you're going fast and it's loud or it's not, you're going slow and it's just, you got all that smog, all of that inhaling. But as soon as I get off the freeway, if it's nice out, I'm like windows down. This is why we pay the mortgage that we do. This is why we pay the rents. Convertible. And I used to have a convertible. Like that's just like, that is like a big, and again, 99% of the people you will see driving their cars in LA will have their windows down as soon as they can. And I was listening to like Cowboy Carter and I like pulled up to a stop sign and there were like one guy in his car on one side of me and then another guy and then there was someone on the other guy on his motorcycle and we're at the stoplight and they were all like, woo! And like, we're all, and I like look over because like I was in my own world enjoying and they're like, love it. And I was like, and we're all like vibing with it, like turn it up. And we're doing that. But like, I can't imagine someone being upset and then knowing someone's upset with me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, is it like, are you listening? Are they like, get that lib music out of here? And then I'm like, sure, piss them off. But if it's just like if it's kind of like the thing that pisses me off on the road are the people who, whatever they do with when they, not just revving their engines, but when they specifically alter that to make it so fucking loud for no reason. And they just rev when we're in standstill traffic. I'm annoyed as hell because You're just doing that to be annoying. So I think if it's like you want the attention, maybe go on American Idol. Sing those songs in front of Katy Perry.
Park in your driveway and just yell. Like, you can be in your car. I love once I park and I'm in my driveway and I can turn my music. Like, I love just sitting in my car singing.
Mm-hmm. Or get a convertible.
Mm-hmm.
But do tell us what car you drive and what people are mad about. Or if you just think they're mad. Because if people are mad, they'll tell you they're mad.
And how many people have you annoyed this way?
That's what I want to know.
It seems like something that you do all the time.
And how do you know that you annoyed them?
Do you have like a huge bass in your car? But I don't even feel like the music you're listening to has...
Noah Cobb like with a heavy bass is hilarious. Is there bass even in his music?
How do I know? Never heard it.
You know, if you get into the sad girl coffee shop vibes.
I've been there and I've saved myself. I'm out.
Yeah. You haven't. No, I know. You haven't been there in a while. And I know if you get there, it's not going to be.
I haven't been there since I was driving my Ford Focus. I haven't been there.
And I'm going to tell you right now, if they're driving a Ford Focus doing this, that's wild shit. That's not the right vibe. Hell, I even said you get a Kia Soul. I'm not saying you have to get a convertible, but you have to get a car that matches the vibe. Because when I was driving my little blue convertible Bug and I am blasting 1,000 miles by Vanessa Carlton and I get stopped and drug dogs search my car, that's the vibe.
That's wild. That's what I was singing in my Ford Focus. It would be on. I literally had a station because I had XM, Sirius XM, whatever, Sirius just then. And I had a station. There was a station called Coffee Music or something. And then I had it set to Colby Calais. So also sad girl coffee timeline. Music. Right. So then it would like pull music. Spotify was around and like, what else? I don't know. But it would just like Pandora. Pull whatever was playing. Like it would pull it into one thing. Pandora existed too, but I just liked
Was
Sirius.
It the radio?
It would be like DJs doing, but it would like, if something was playing that matched the vibe, it would change the station. It'd be like, this song is coming up.
I feel like that could make a comeback.
Yeah. Sirius XM is, I feel like they're more focused on podcasting now though.
They are.
So it was kind of like, it was like I had a live DJ mixing.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like DJ culture is crazy right now. So I feel like people would actually really love that.
So
I love that. Please let us know if you have a Ford Focus. It's imperative.
All right. We're going to take another break. When we get back, we'll get into But Are They Wrong?
This episode is brought to you by Global X. Since 2008, Global X ETFs has been committed to empowering investors with unexplored, intelligent solutions. Global X specializes in exchange-traded funds that offer exposure to the artificial intelligence ecosystem, including themes like data centers, robotics, semiconductors, and cloud computing. To learn more about Global X's entire suite of ETFs, from covered calls, fixed income, emerging markets, and more, visit globalxetfs.com.
Bring on your business challenges, the complex ones, the ones that seem to change every day, the ones that are so nuanced no one else could possibly understand them. Bring them all on. Key has a team of banking experts specialized in your industry, always ready to take your call and offer trusted solutions. And we go even further, staying ahead of trends so that you have answers before you even knew you needed them. Bring on your business challenges. Key Bank opens doors. Learn more at key.com/B2B.
What if an appliance emergency didn't have to be? If your appliances suddenly decided they were done, don't stress. Best Buy has you covered with a wide variety of major appliances from trusted brands, in stock and available now. So you don't have to worry about laundry piling up, refilling the fridge, or that big dinner party you're hosting. Because Best Buy has the knowledge and expertise to get you the right appliance for your home. Learn more at bestbuy.com. Best Buy. Imagine that.
We're back from our break and we'll get into But Are You Wrong? Oh, no, you haven't read the next one. Never mind.
I forgot about it. Anyways, okay. I work in an academic lab as a graduate student where I am one of the only domestic students and have 10 plus international students from 4 countries. I'm currently battling some innate sexism in my lab. To set the scene, I'm moving at a fast pace in my research to graduate with my PhD at a prestigious university. Go. We don't have any other lab manager type other than me who schedules presentations, group meetings, or lab maintenance roles. This is an agreed upon position usually taken by an upperclassman. It has recently only been women and does not add to our career. We have a problem where the women take on all of the cleaning and administrative tasks, and the men seem to push it off or leave to not even be asked. A recent incident when the biggest culprit suggested 2 other women take over as lab manager as I stepped down, and I called him out with the group as, why does it have to be a woman? Then a few weeks later, refused to clear a whiteboard for a female colleague because it wasn't his job. He refused to clean up after lunch along with 3 other men. Our boss was there for the latter. I brought this to our boss's attention because it's not just annoying, but it also takes time out of my day to do the tasks that really should be shared by the group. Our boss is a female and noticed group things, but not that this individual, and then kind of pushed it to cultural differences, but something that should be brought up. Some lab mates think I went too far to bring it up, especially because I called him sexist. Am I wrong? No, you're not wrong at all. Sexism is deeply prevalent in this space.
And that's why when I went to school, I was a physics major and I didn't like what I was looking at.
You didn't like looking at your future?
Yeah. It was all guys and they were all weird. And I was like, I got to get out of here.
I know, if you're going to be all men, at least be like, a group of men is a murder of men, but at least be a fun murder of men or like a vibey murder of men. Don't be like a weird murder of men.
Yeah. So I commend anyone that's sticking it through. And no, you're not wrong.
I also have a deep issue with using cultural differences as an excuse in a school setting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that, I think cultural differences of how you date, what you're interested in based on what you were socialized with or what you grew up with or whatever. Like, you're allowed to have those things and how you carry yourself. But when that puts responsibilities on other people for a non-elective thing, AKA fucking school or your job, no. And then let alone you can have accommodations or anything based on disability or religion or anything. But that needs to be something you establish with your boss. That's not I actually don't clean things up because in my culture, men don't do that. That's not it. It can be, I have a latex allergy, which is to be a hard field to be in if you have them. But I have a latex allergy, so I can't do things that gloves. Yeah, I can't do anything that requires this. And then that would have been established ahead of time. People know, and you would go out of your way to make sure people knew that you weren't just trying to get out of helping, and you would have a different task to help. So I think if your teacher doesn't do anything, or if your boss doesn't do anything, to me, that's not I tried. It's who else can I tell?
But also if you weren't there, it would need to get done. So what would happen if you weren't there?
Who's going to do it?
Right. Fuck off.
Yeah, I can't stand this shit.
All right. Yeah, you're not wrong. Now it's time for, but are they wrong? And that's when we pick somebody from the world, nature, people, places, things that are wrong in a situation. And I'm up first. So today I will be addressing a very weird and troubling situation that happened in Hanceville, Alabama, which is a town that has 3,000 people.
Isn't there a Hanceville too?
There is a Hanceville.
That's confusing. And that's in Alabama too, right?
Uh-huh.
Weird.
The grand jury just recommended the immediate abolition of the Hanceville Police Department. And they are citing that there's a rampant culture of corruption and are declaring that the department has more of a criminal enterprise than a law enforcement agency. This comes after there has been an indictment of 5 officers, including the police chief, one of their wives on a variety of felony charges. You know what they say about one bad apple. Not that there's just one bad apple. It spoils the whole bunch. District Attorney Champ Crocker, what a name, describes a department riddled with systematic failures. The grand jury's investigation uncovered a disturbing lack of security in the evidence room. Photos revealed a hole in the wall with a broomstick used to jimmy open the door. Video footage showed unauthorized individuals routinely accessing the room, compromising evidence crucial in criminal cases. This negligence, the grand jury argues, directly contributed to the tragic death of a dispatcher named Christopher Willingham, who died of a drug overdose in August 2024. While no one has been charged with his death, the grand jury stated that Willingham had unfettered access to the unsecured evidence room even on the day of his death. The autopsy report revealed a lethal combination of drugs in his system.
Holy shit.
So Chief Jason Wayne Martin, 51, is charged with failure to report an ethics crime and tampering with physical evidence. Which one do you think that is?
Tampering, and what was the other one?
Failure to report an ethics crime and tampering with evidence.
Melissa, I don't know.
And he's 51.
All of these.
Okay, let me go through
like
the
extras
ages
from like Lord of the Rings.
Let me go through the ages, and then it's not going to help. We're just going to see if it helps. There's someone 51, someone 37.
No one's 37 in this
someone
lineup,
39.
There's nobody 39
someone
in this lineup.
44, and someone 63.
Everyone in this lineup is over 50. By the way, the oldest age was what?
63, and that's the woman. So
that's not true. That is a 90-year-old woman who shouldn't be even working. She should be cashing in her Social Security and in a retirement home.
And you know, I'm all against people. Well, you don't look your age, blah, blah, blah. I hate that shit, except for when it comes to hateful people.
This is also, someone has to be lying. And what do these people have against sunscreen?
Yep.
And I have to assume they're also enjoying a recreational substance or two. Because rapid aging is crazy.
We will get through these charges, and that is correct. Guess the 51-year-old. This is Jason Shane Marlin, the chief.
Green shirt, tiny head?
No.
British Love Island, swoopy hair, hoodie, rapidly aging neck.
That's two people.
Rapidly aging neck.
Actually, three.
Okay. Green hoodie, rapidly aging neck.
Yes,
that's him.
That is him. All right. And then we've got...
He's 5'9". These men are tiny.
Then we've got Officer Cody Kelso and Jason Wilbanks. They face charges including computer tampering, use of an official position for personal gain, and conspiracy to commit a controlled substance crime.
I think the only person who knows how to use a computer, there's only two options. It's both the men with facial hair and maybe the one in the white hoodie. But I don't know that any of them know how to work a smartphone, let alone a computer.
So this is the 37-year-old.
White hoodie.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. I mean, that's the one that looks the youngest.
And he looks the youngest because I go, yeah, maybe he knows how to use a computer.
Right. But he still does not look 37.
No.
At all.
This is troubling. Someone needs to check the water. There's something. I think they're doing drugs, but I also think we're not using sunscreen, and something is wrong, especially with this woman because she is 90 years old.
Then we've got Officer William Shellnut, 39, is charged with tampering with physical evidence.
Okay. I'm going to go with buzzed head because he looks like he would be cast as that in a British show.
Mm-mm.
Oh, so we're only left with the guy with the incredibly sweaty hair.
No. Top right.
Oh.
That is a 39-year-old man.
No, Melissa. Melissa, you're kidding. Top right is a 39-year-old man?
Uh-huh.
These people lie for sport. Like, this is crazy. This man was alive during the Great Depression.
And we're not even...
Oh, no.
Hold on. And then we've got reserve officer, which means he just comes in when he wants. Eric Kelso, 44. And his spouse, Donna Kelso, 63, have been indicted on drug distribution charges, accused of providing controlled substances to other officers. So these are the drug dealers.
That this lady and her husband are in the photo. This woman, her husband is in this photo.
Uh-huh. And he's 44.
I don't like either of my options. Buzzhead.
Mm-mm.
Sweaty Bangs.
Mm-hmm.
She's married to Sweaty Bangs?
Yes. And he's 44 and she's 63.
That man is not 44. That man is not 44.
But they are drug lords, I guess.
Well, that does explain the rapid aging.
Yeah. And they've been giving drugs to the officers. And
Party
including
favors.
In this death of this person, too.
And they work there?
He works there as a reserve officer, so he's not there all the time. He just gets called in when they need somebody, and then she's just his wife.
Just your everyday town drug dealer.
Uh-huh.
If anyone is not watching the video to see these, which you really should, if she knew how to use TikTok, she'd be up in arms of the Republican makeup trend.
Oh God,
she would be mad.
Okay.
But I know that eyeliner she puts it on every day, but some of that's tattooed.
Yeah, it is. So the grand jury's finding paint a grim picture: failure to preserve evidence, jeopardizing victims and the public, lack of oversight, leadership, negligent training, and the pervasive culture of corruption that has eroded the public trust. They've even expressed zero confidence in the department's ability to maintain its jail, citing concerns about health and safety. The sheriff, Matt Gentry, has stated his office is preparing to take over law enforcement responsibilities in Hanceville. Although a formal request hasn't been made yet, Mayor Jim Sawyer has pledged full cooperation with the investigation and promised swift action. He acknowledged the damage done to the city's reputation. And I don't believe he wasn't involved, because how does the mayor not know what's going on in their jail?
But beyond that, how do you look at your company Christmas card and not go, something's fundamentally wrong with this picture?
Oh.
Like, the way, if any of them had a lawyer and I was their lawyer, the first thing I would say is,
they did it.
Now's the time to stop lying about your age. And we're pleading declined mental state and mental fragility with old age. The drugs and the worms have eaten your brain.
This is the recommendations made by the grand jury. They said that it immediately need to be disbanded, calling it more of a criminal organization than a law enforcement agent, which I would argue all police.
All of them are.
Yeah. And then any current or former officer indicted should be suspended from law enforcement by Alabama Peace Office Standards and Training Commission. The police department is immediately abolished. Another law enforcement agency, whether local or state, be tasked with protecting the city. Based on the investigation by the State Bureau of Investigations, the grand jury find the Hanceville Police Department is a particular and ongoing threat to public safety. Rampant culture of corruption in Hanceville, which has recently operated as more of a criminal enterprise than a state law enforcement agency. The police department has abused public trust by its failure of oversight, lack of leadership, and negligent training and hiring. The police department failed to account for, preserve, and maintain evidence, and in doing so has failed crime victims and the public at large. The evidence is unusable. The grand jury have zero confidence in the ability to maintain a jail or meet public health and safety needs of jail personnel or inmates, which they can't even meet their own personal safety needs. So
they
understood.
can't brush their teeth or put sunscreen on. or drink a glass of water.
The death of Chris Willingham is direct results of Hanceville police negligence, lack of procedure, general incompetence, and disregard for human life. And so
this is scathing. And also the zero confidence is quite literally one of the, like, that is such a cutting phrase.
Yeah, especially like in the South where people claim to love the police, but they don't actually when they're coming after people that look like them, white people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the community wouldn't go on record with like the news people to be interviewed. And I'm like, what is happening in this town?
Can you imagine calling the police and the Three Stooges show up and their elderly drug dealer? Like,
right.
And it's like, well, who are you going to call when something bad happens? These fuckers? This is who I'm supposed to fucking call?
Right. But also like the fact that like the only person that I saw the news was able to interview was this woman of color. She was some kind of brown. I don't know what she was, but that was the only person that would do an interview. Like nobody would stop.
Someone needs to check in on the townspeople because I fear it's going to just be a town full of Benjamin Buttons. They're all old and strong. Like, I'm like, maybe they said, fuck fluoride. Let's put meth in the water.
Maybe. This woman
is
fine.
90.
No, I'm talking about the woman that was interviewed by the police. She
said, I'm not
vibrant,
drinking your fucking
young.
water.
She's like, I'm not them. I'm not like them. The only person that would be interviewed.
That's crazy. Other people are like, don't do that to our old folks home, also known as our police department. Like, these people look like they should be taking a power walk around the mall.
I don't think they can make it around the mall.
No, and I really don't think they should be carrying.
No.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did you find this?
It just popped up on the news.
I'm dying. Thank you for making this a visual event because the fact that like I pride myself on being incredible at guessing games, that was hard for me.
I knew that you would love it.
That was very hard.
I had to bring it in.
And like Melissa said, we're not here for like age shaming people, except for when we are. And mostly what I'm doing is shaming. I'm not going to be like paying attention to other people. Like other people will be like, oh my God, I care so deeply about how people spend their food stamps. I don't care at all.
Me either.
At all. I do care.
Eat. That's all I care about. Like eat.
And I don't even care if it's not even nutritious.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Consume anything, whether it makes you feel good, it helps you do something, or you enjoy it. Love that for you. But I do have a lot of judgment for a group. I have a lot of judgment for a town who thought it was okay to have a group of drugged senior citizens who look like extras from Lord of the Rings hop on and say, protect and serve. How about more drugs?
I just can't get over the fact that not one man in that picture was over the age of 55.
I also can't get over the fact that not one man in this photo is over 6 feet tall. They're all 5'9", Melissa.
And there's like two that are like 6 feet.
Yeah, Tiny Head is right about 6 feet. And the British one is 5'10". You can't tell me he doesn't look British. Like, and also like, you guys are bad friends. What do you mean your temp coworker who comes in, your contractor who comes in ever so often to be muscle when you need him there? Which, by the way, what do you need him there for? You're not doing anything.
You're talking about bangs?
Yeah, baby bangs. It's not baby bangs. Those are actually sweaty bangs.
Bangs.
So when Sweaty Bangs comes in and he says, hey, y'all, meet my missus. And they say, the Crypt Keeper? And he goes, yeah. And she goes, want some meth? And they go, sure.
Sure. She's also significantly older than him.
20 years older. And I'm just like, you guys are bad fucking friends where you're like not going to say anything that your coworker is dating a woman with upper and lower
married,
tattooed
not
eyeliner.
Dated,
oh yeah, married to a woman with tattooed upper and lower eyeliner who is seconds away from death. She is so old and she's on drugs and she's a drug dealer. And you're not going to be like, hey,
and
man.
she's small. She's only 5'3".
She's 5'3". You know that. Her being short makes me even more afraid of her. He's her muscle.
But he's only 5'9".
Yeah, but those bangs are quite distracting. You could really, like, if he just walked up to me with those sweaty bangs and I'm looking him in his eyes, we're eye to eye level. I need you to look up Hodor from Game of Thrones right now.
I know who it is.
But to me, I think they watched Game of Thrones and they said, let's get the man with the shaved head who looks British. And let's get this guy who looks like Hodor. He'll hold our doors while we keep them unlocked and get everybody hooked on drugs. Whatever happened to getting hooked on phonics?
Works for me.
Also, these people have hilarious names.
I know. So,
thank you for this, Melissa.
You're welcome.
I'm quite addicted to it.
We're going to take another break and when we get back, we'll get into Meghan's.
Are you a forward thinker? Then you need an HR and finance platform that thinks like you do. Workday is the AI platform that helps propel your organization, your workforce, and your industry into the future. Workday, moving business forever forward.
TaxAct knows small business owners can sometimes use a little help with their taxes. That's why TaxAct has Expert Assist, a team of live tax experts ready to answer any questions you may have. Think of them as your own personal sidekick. Not like one of those funny talking animal sidekicks, more like the super smart nerding out on tax code and business casual attire sidekick, but just as helpful and lovable. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
Shop with Rakuten and you'll get it. What's it? It's the best deal. Great cashback rates and more savings on your shopping. So, join Rakuten and get cashback at over 500 brands, like Marks & Spencer, Mango, and Selfridges. You can even shop the sales and still get cashback. Join for free at rakuten.co.uk or get the Rakuten app. That's RAKUTEN.
We're back. It's my turn. I was going to talk about Avery Woods, but I don't want to. I just think that I don't care enough to do enough research. She's the woman who had that TikTok was like, I love my daughter, but I love my son. My son has my whole heart. She invited one of the guys from Who Want to Handle on her podcast. And then she talked about how she's trying to have sex with him. She's married. And she's like, I had 2 C-sections. My vagina's pristine. I'm not ripped end to end. And everyone's like, what? And people are like, she's being so mean to Christians. I don't care about people being mean to a certain kind of Christian. And she had a point up until a certain point. I'm just going to read you this and then I'll get into my real one. But I just have to say this part. But this is I don't know enough about this to totally do a breakdown because I can't sit and fucking watch her podcast. I'm not doing that. She says, that's why I'm not even Christian. Never been religious, but my haters have blessed mama 4 in their bio. And they're like, you're a fat, ugly mom. You're a fucking whore. Okay. I understand that. I've had lots of people who have those kinds of things in their bio who say things. And then she says, yeah, Jesus is going to spank you later if you keep it up. Literally, he's going to bend you over and fuck your ass. He's going to hop higher on your ass if you keep up this bullshit. I hope he does. They deserve it. No lube. But
okay.
That's not even funny.
No.
It's just overly descriptive. And she just talked about how much she loves anal. And apparently this guy's uncomfortable or whatever.
If she loves it so much, why does she see it as a punishment?
That's what I wondered too. I was like, okay, can't love it that much. But yeah, so that's all I have to say about her. But I feel like people are going to be curious. But you can't pay me money to fucking watch that shit. I just can't. So instead, mine also has something to do with yours. It has to do with the police. And if these people are going to get fired or suspended, I might have a new job for them. From The Hollywood Reporter, which is terrifying that is my source.
Okay.
Uber with guns. On demand, armed guard app launches.
Oh, no. I saw this.
After United Healthcare CEO killing. So if you're curious, yes, it is starting in LA and New York. I do wonder who the clientele for LA is. I can't think that these people are based in LA. I have to think they're based in New York because like LA is so deeply, if you are rich and you could have lived in LA for 30 years and have never been to most of LA.
Mm-hmm.
So those people aren't concerned about like walking through their daily life. So I'm like, who's paying for that? Like, who's going to get this?
I saw that like the New York people, it was like a lot of girls at Fashion Week paid for it, like that were models. They were paying for it. And I'm like, okay. And then there was a girl that lived in LA, or a woman that lived in LA, that was talking about it. So that's how I learned about it, is that she was talking about how the women at Fashion Week, and then she went on and she was hiring one for what? I don't know. But she lived in LA, and so many people were congratulating her or like saying this is such a good idea in the comments. And I was like, how did I get on this side of TikTok? But continue to tell the people what this is.
I'm baffled. It's an app called Protector, which Beyonce, you should sue. And it says that it allows users to hire on-demand personal armed security along with a Lyft. So it is Uber with an armed vehicle. So it says on their profile in the App Store says, with the click of a button, Protector users can schedule veteran and former law enforcement private security personnel to serve as a personal protection when needed. I can't tell you how little faith I have in LAPD and how much less faith I have in former LAPD.
And also people from the Army.
Oh my God. What do you mean that you couldn't even cut it in the LAPD? You couldn't even go to San Bernardino? And now I'm going to be hiring you. The part that's also crazy is like specifically for LA, private security exists. People have private security. They hire them all. You can go on websites. I know how to hire private security. I know people who work in, I've had security for things. Like, this is not like a thing that is like anyone who needs it can get it and can pay for it that way. But this is not like bringing protection to the everyday person. No, it's still crazy fucking expensive. So they say that they are either all the personnel are credentialed active duty or retired law enforcement. And as part of the service, users can choose the number of Escalades or similar vehicles that are part of the motorcade. I can't stress enough how much you don't need a motorcade, as well as the type of uniform that the guards wear. Uniforms include business formal, business casual, and tactical casual. I need a Pinterest board of tactical casual. Please explain to me what tactical... Is it army pants and flip-flops? Is it tool belts and a mesh tank top? What's going on? So the cost for one guard and one car for a 5-hour duration, which is the minimum that you can book, is $1,000 plus an annual membership fee of $129. Now, here's the thing. That's not cheap, but that is actually not the prices it should be for 5 hours of security.
Mm-hmm.
If you go through a private security company, it will cost you more. They will be better vetted. They will have a better, all of that stuff. And so I'm like, okay, this is too expensive for the everyday person, but not expensive enough for quality protection.
Right.
And then
and
guess
it's
what?
also they're driving you. So like you're paying, like that's included in the price for 5 hours. Like that's just Uber by itself.
Not even rush hour.
Right.
Not even price surge. But get ready. Don't worry. You can split the cost because there is a cost splitting function meant to make it more accessible. So you can split it with 5 of your friends. So there was a promotional video that was posted on X that like literally uses the murder, like footage of the murder of the United Healthcare CEO being like, now what if a protector was present? I'm sorry, a protector?
They would have got shot too.
And also, stop. This is not a Marvel movie. Like, we need a protector. We need a Hulk. And the crisis could have been averted. And then they do reenactments. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. And the former Meta product manager says that he's worked on an advisor and he refers to it as Uber with guns. I thought that's what we were calling it. They say, no, we love that. Thank you. That's exactly what this is. And it is fucking crazy. So there's also a sister app called Patrol that is billed as a neighborhood security solution where neighbors are meant to crowdfund security services like patrol cars. Ooh, I see nothing wrong with this. This doesn't go badly at all by any means. And it's just crazy that it seems to be that everybody used to work at Meta.
Have you gone to the Instagram page?
No, I'm afraid.
Please go. It's Get Protectors is the Instagram page, and they have each of the people you can hire doing a little video introduction about themselves.
Stop it. Pick me.
And that
wait,
video,
it's Protector? What's it called?
It's Get Protectors. And they also have the footage from the CEO shooting too.
They're spending so much money just on these videos. I wonder if I recognize anyone. Ooh, you retired NYPD and you are not that old. What did you do?
And like the caption is just Chris is a protector.
George is a protector.
Greg.
I'm telling you right now, Greg does not give me protector vibes.
No.
Oh, Sean and his excessive lip balm, I also don't feel protected by. Taylor's 5'8". There's no way this man's a protector.
I'm okay with Alec. Joey is 5'2".
Gavin, you look like you could do so much more with your life. You could be an extra. I think Gavin could be an extra, at least a featured extra, maybe even actor. Peter needs a hair transplant. So many of these men either don't know how to read or they are naturally cross-eyed, because watching them try and read the teleprompter is alarming. Your eyes shouldn't cross when you're reading a teleprompter. Joey is 5 feet on a good day. Joey's a petite. I don't like how Royce is smiling at me. So many of these, I could say, upload the same video to central casting, and I promise you, this will fare a lot better for you. Well, I don't recognize anybody, but this is just crazy to me because I can't stress enough how many private security companies there are with a plethora of like security guard, like who do bodyguard protection, all of that. So these are the rejects of the reject.
Yep.
And the money that they're asking for, like, this is crazy. It's just fundamentally crazy. And I think women using this as being like this is going to be helpful for X, Y, and Z or whatever. I hope it helps you with whatever you need and what, if it's your getaway car, you need to slash the Achilles of your ex-boyfriend. Okay.
But if you think that it's something else, like we're going out to the club and this is a good look, no.
By the way, everyone, you can call a club and say you're looking for security and they can recommend you people at your specific club. And people even have issues with private security that are like really, really high profile. Kim Kardashian in Paris, like all of this kind of stuff. Like people will get fired for things. And you know who I need to do an interview on this? He will never. I need Julian. Julian, tell me what you think about this. Not Julian, Julius.
Oh. I was like, who the hell is Julian?
Sorry. I need Julius. Move, Julius. I need Julius.
Doesn't talk.
No, he doesn't. And you know why? Because he's a good security guard.
He's a protector. He's the actual protector.
Yeah.
Listen to the song Protector. No, listen to the song Bodyguard.
And then listen to the song Protector.
Yeah.
Unrelated, but she should too.
Mm-hmm.
I just think this is so fucking hilarious. And if I see anybody I know who like starts to follow them, I'll die. I'll be like,
it has to be a
you're
joke.
crazy.
It has to be a joke.
No one I know.
The fact that they have 12.1 followers already is hilarious.
Oh my God. And like former LAPD chief, like this is so, the people who are like so fucking concerned about the safety in Los Angeles, I cannot stress to you all enough, have quite literally never left the 5-mile radius they live in. They've never been to these places that they are so afraid of. It's crazy. It's so funny. They don't even cross, they don't even go on certain freeways, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm addicted. I just have to say, I usually am not advocating for everyone to become an actor, but like, at least do that instead, at least. Or like whatever happened to being a personal trainer.
Or being security at a nightclub.
That there are so many opportunities for that.
Or actually getting trained to be an actual bodyguard.
Yeah. That would be a good, you're an Uber with a gun.
Like you're driving people. That's your job, is to drive people and have a gun.
Imagine barfing in the back of this car. That man has a gun. You barfed in his Escalade.
A woo girl in the back of this car. That man has a gun and he's been in the military.
And he got kicked out of the LAPD. He's 5'2". He has nothing to lose. I just love how we're it's we as women, we don't feel safe in Ubers. You know what makes me feel more safe? If the man driving the Uber had a gun.
And was in the military. That's
This man has the ability to kill me. He has the will to kill me. He has the device to kill me. And he has the skills to make sure no one ever finds me.
Yeah.
If you didn't think men could be scarier, introducing armed men with military experience and who have been kicked out of the police force, which is notoriously hard to do. I bet they don't even use their turn signals.
No. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode. It's been a wild ride.
It has. Well, we hope you enjoyed. And don't forget to vote on who you think was wrong for each segment on the episode over on our Instagram stories. And again, the results for that will be the following week's episode for See You Next Tuesday. Videos on Patreon. Don't shake your head at me. I did that right. But videos on Patreon so you can see Melissa say that I was wrong and then realize I wasn't so wrong. So you're confusing me. Stop! Watch on Patreon, and we also do live streams there twice a month, and you can hang out, meet some friends, chill, vibe.
Enemies too.
What?
Enemies. You can meet an enemy.
Oh my God. How fun would that be?
Well, we know there's enemies. There's enemies. Erica and Mary are enemies.
They are.
Even though Erica's going to stay at Mary's house.
Staying at Mary's apartment. We love it. We're huge fans. It's a great time. And yeah, if you want us to talk about anything on the podcast, please tag us and stuff on TikTok. You can also send it to us on Instagram.
Don't tag our joint page.
Oh, we'll never see it. Only one of us ever remembers the password and is logged in at one time.
I'm always logged in, but I check it about once every 4 months.
That's about the same thing as me too.
But you're always logged out. I don't know how you keep getting logged out. You're like, what's the password?
Every time I need to log back in, I go, what is it again? Well, we hope you all had a lovely time. And let us know if anything like what happened to Melissa's happened to you at the spa.
Please.
And did Melissa give off any code? Is there a code?
Just staring straight ahead, not looking at them.
Because
I think the code was I was naked.
Because apparently it's their first day at a fucking spa.
Right.
I need to know. I wish we could find out if the woo girls ever interacted with the titty grabbers.
The titty grabbers were gone by the time the woo girls got there, but the finger fucking were still there.
The finger bangers were.
And the ass grabbing were still there.
I would love to have, imagine they were aghast that they had to get naked when they see someone getting absolutely railed.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. That's when you get turned from woo girls into boo girls. They just go boo,
boo, boo. Maybe they snitched.
I bet woo girls would snitch, and they snitch for the greater good. It's always I don't want to say anything. They go, girl, I'll say something. I know we just met.
Because they have each other to hype each other up.
Yep. They'll do whatever you need. Okay, we will
circle back.
Bye. Bye. This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production by Coco Lorenz.
Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
And music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso.
Hello, I am Kristen Russo.
And I am Jenny Owen Youngs.
We are the hosts of Buffering the Vampire Slayer once more with spoilers, a rewatch podcast covering all 144 episodes of, you guessed it, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
We are here to humbly invite you to join us for our 5th Buffy Prom, which, if you can believe it, we are hosting at the actual Sunnydale High School. That's right. On April 4th and 5th, we will be descending upon the campus of Torrance High School, which was the filming location for Buffy's Sunnydale High, to dance the night away to 90s music in the iconic courtyard, to sip on punch right next to the Sunnydale High fountain, and to nerd out together in our prom best inside of the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
All information and tickets can be found at bufferingcast.com/prom. Come join us.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
In humanity's search for other worlds, we found something unexpected.
It's a massive collection of tiny pocket realities, and each one is a story.
So we can actually transcend our usual 4 dimensions of space and time to go physically into these stories?
Yes, using the Muse Pod.
But when we explored those stories, things didn't go as planned.
Mr. Darcy? That horrid man.
I am Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
None of us have been the same since Beth died.
What happens when classic stories go wrong? I go in to fix them.
Ah, humbug.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?
For the love of God, mon frère!
Subscribe and listen to Muse, the latest audio drama from Dayton Writers Movement and Realm.
I am Dracula, and I bid you welcome.